Alright, first of all, I apologize for any background noise, as well as, shaky cam. I don't have, hopefully it's a little more stable, but I don't have a tripod yet, so I'm using like a headband I made for my automotive channel I have. By the way, Trailer Park Supercars, if you like cars, I'll put a link to the description in it. But without that being said, this is my PlayStation 2. And I'm going to be talking about why I think it is one of the greatest systems ever made. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't really make this completely unbiased, because the PS2, even though I am from the era of kids who played PlayStation 3, I don't know why I'm talking like I'm like 30. I'm not that old. I'm only 19. But still, I'm from the era of Xbox 360 and PS3, but my PlayStation 3, since I never had an Xbox, was always in the living room, and this was in my bedroom. I didn't get to play the PlayStation 3 that much, or I got to play it a lot, but nowhere near as much as this. So this is what I had all the games on, this is what I would always play. But with that out of the way, first of all, the PlayStation 2, I believe, was released November, I think, November 2000, and like, I think in Japan, and October, or it might have been, no, it couldn't have been November. It was 2000, and then like, I don't remember. It was released 2000 in Japan and 2001 in America and Europe. So over here with the original fat model. Now, there are some differences in between the two main ones. Of course, you have the slim right here, which came out 2006, much later, and the fat. I wish I had a fat to compare this one to, but I don't. So basically what the fat was this Xbox right here. I know I got some Nintendo stuff on it. The fat model was about, you'd take about half of this, and it's about maybe the same thickness, and it also had an sliding open disc tray, just like this system right here. Of course, they sold millions of these things, and there were a couple special editions of the Fat, such as there's the Automobilia ones that were released as a contest over in Europe and Japan with Gran Turismo, as well as, I think there's a blue one. There's a clear blue one that I believe was released over here, but then again, that might be just a shell. That might just be a shell, as well as, we didn't really get any special editions in America of the PS2. We got special bundles, but that's about it. And then when you get up to the Slim, I forget what the launch titles were for the PlayStation. It had a pretty decent lineup, I remember. Granted, I missed launch. I was I was still way too young to remember any of the launch stuff for this, so this was a secondhand system when I got it. And, of course, you have then later on, a couple of years pass, you have the silver version, or not the silver version, but I keep trying to jump ahead, I apologize. These are not scripted, I try to say things as I think of them. So then about 2006, towards the end, 2006, 2005, one of those two, the PS2 Slim came out. It's just a way smaller, way better. A lot of people actually prefer this version because there's less moving parts, less things to fail. It's a lot easier to store. It's the better system, in my opinion. Because the old one, the bands would break, and then you'd have to tear the whole system up. This one's just, you press a button and the thing, little latch moves up. Now, there were a bunch of special editions of this that we didn't get over here in the States. Of course, the one we got, the most famous one, is the silver one. We got the silver one, which I think was like the, no, it was the 500,000th, I don't remember what it was. It was a million. It was to commemorate some sort of sales number or something, so they released a silver one. This controller right here came from this set. In Japan, they also had a gold one. They had a hot pink one. There was a blue one. They had a bunch of different colors called the Candy line. They also had the same one for the PSP. They had candy colors to coincide with the PlayStation 2, with the PSP. Sorry if you hear voices in the background. Coincide with the release of the PSP, I believe is what it was for. And yeah, it's a really basic system. Of course, not basic, but of course the system sold 101. Or it was like 101 million units. 121 million units, my bad. PlayStation 2s in total. Is crazy how well this thing sold. To this day, it is still the best-selling system of all time. Of course, that's not new news. Everybody knows that. And while I'm looking at it, here's a cool feature of the PlayStation 2. See this right here? I don't have the stands, but you can rotate this. Oh, if I can get it to rotate. You'll rotate that, and it'll coincide with how you have the PS2 standing. I'm going to flip it back. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this out of its little spot. Now, of course, the PS2 still used memory cards. I'm about to turn it on. That's why you probably get a different camera angle. You're getting a different camera angle here. I do not have the official Sony ones, but as everybody I'm sure knows, these memory cards actually had a shortage. The PlayStation 2 was so popular, it caused shortages of like a certain metal. I forget what it's called, but they used it to make memory cards, and it caused to this day, you can still, because they made so many of the things, it eventually caused an whatever you call it. They overstocked all the memory cards. A bunch of memory card manufacturers, a bunch of accessory manufacturers overstocked and overestimated the supply, the demand for them, which there was still a massive demand. They just made more than the demand was. So eventually you had shortages of materials, and then the memory cards started to run out, and prices started to skyrocket for these things. Now, memory cards are not hard to find. For a PS2, you can still easily find official Sony ones. These are the ones I've had since childhood. They've been wiped and re-added and wiped again. I can't tell you how many times. I cannot tell you how many times, but you could tell they're starting to show their age. But yeah, memory card based system. Of course, the games obviously came in a case like so. This is a bad one because this is one of my poor condition cases. For Ratchet and Clank, doesn't have the manual or anything. But I know there's a chance some people have never seen a PS2 case before, because this is a pretty old system. It is at, I think, 20-something years old now. It's older than I am. I think like 22. Yeah, I'd be 21 years old. I'm stupid. It's 2021 right now as of filming. Wow. Be like 20 years old. But yeah, and I'll go ahead and show you what it's like powered on. Turn on the TV. Hello, how's it going? You can see me. Fix my cords right here. You're gonna get a bad angle real fast. I apologize. I really need a tripod and some editing software. Make everything more streamlined. And then we're gonna restart it. Oh, why is that so loud? I didn't have the TV up that loud last time. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, it still works. It's still a great system. Now, you could argue that a lot of what the PS2 has on it now, we've gotten to a point where it's not necessary. It's more just a collector's piece again. Kind of like the PlayStation 1 over there. Because emulation has gotten to the point, as well as ports and stuff, to where every single game almost on the system has been emulated. You can easily download ROMs for them and just have them on your computer, play them anywhere, play them on your computer, and not worry with having one of these and buying stacks of games like that over there. But I think it's just cool to play on the original hardware. It's the same thing with that PlayStation 1. Yes, I know it's not plugged in, but it's the same thing. It's different. I don't know how to explain it. It's just different. Playing on original hardware, feeling what it's like to play on the stuff and not playing on a computer, like I know my camera's getting really shaky. I do apologize. Like on this Game Boy. This Game Boy is another prime example of that. You can achieve any game pretty much you want to on emulation. They're very simple 8-bit. I need to remove batteries. 8-bit NES games essentially on cartridge. Little tiny cartridges. Super easy to emulate. Heck, this Xbox, this PS2, that PlayStation 1 could run those through emulation. It wouldn't be hard. That Genesis right there, if you loaded the ROMs and got it to work, could run 8-bit stuff. But it's just different. So if you've never played a certain game you really like and it's an old game on the original hardware, if it's possible, you ever get the chance, I'd really recommend it. That just might be me being weird. That just might be me, a weird thing of mine. Because I'll always say I'm a bit of I guess the right word would be console purist. Because I don't get mad if you don't play the game on the original console. It's just, I don't like not playing it on the original console. It's just something weird about me. I don't know how to explain. I don't know why. Because trust me, I'm all for emulation. I'm not going to get mad. Not everybody wants all of these consoles. I mean, I've got loads of them sitting around everywhere, taking up space, and all them games. They're old. I get it. And then you have to deal with your systems being old. I understand. I get it. I get it. But I really would recommend giving them a shot to play them on the original hardware. Just once. Just once. But with that, I guess I'm going to go ahead and go into the ending bit of the video. If you made it this far in the video and you like what you saw here, the biggest way, and you want to support the channel, the biggest way to do that is to like, comment, share, spread the word of the channel. And eventually I am going to improve on my content. I do plan on getting a tripod. It's just I've had lots of money going out to other places. I can't really invest into my YouTube stuff right now. I'd love to, but I can't. So I'd really love to do that. Also, go check out my other stuff. Like, I have a Twitch. I'll put the link to that in the description. It's CapriSun396, same as my YouTube, /Twitch. I'll have a link to that in the description. I also have a second channel that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. If you made it this far into, if you like cars, Trailer Park Supercars, it's a very slow process. Cars are 1,000 times more expensive than electronics and video games. So it's slow, but if you know anything about what I'm talking about, I have a 1974 Caprice Classic 2-door coupe with a 409 big block. 402, not 409. Just said 402. And go check out the channel. I'll put a link to that one in the description as well. But with that, I guess I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for watching and